Hello everybody and welcome back to Magna Carta 2. Now that we have come over to the beach and spoken with the princess, it's time for us to return to our village and see what's going on next.
Did you talk to the princess?
Yeah.
Anyway, cheer up.
Sure, I will.
It's like when you're feeling gloomy. It throws me off my game too. Go back to your usual self, okay?
Yeah? And what's that supposed to mean?
It's my job to chew you out when you're just slacking off, remember? But I've been praising you all day. Where's the fun in that?
Fine.
Still, you went through a lot today. You'll pull yourself together though, right? If I catch you sneaking a nap somewhere, you're gonna be punished something fierce, got it? What's your answer?
Melissa, thanks a lot.
We're back to this again? You're like a little brother to me, Juto. We're family, right?
I sure found myself a bossy sister.
That reminds me, Juto. In the fight with the Guardian, you broke your wooden sword, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I brought you a new one. It's a little rough, though. Whittle it down later and use it.
Sure. Thanks.
Well, it was nice of Melissa to give us another sword. We need to speak to her again before we can go back up to the island. She's gonna give us one last quest here. And this is to gather ingredients in order to make some Molotov cocktails, just in case the northern forces come back. We're gonna be looking for gunpowder grass. 4 of them to be exact. This is what the grass looks like. And it's scattered all over the beach here. So it's going to be pretty easy for us to find. We do get a little tutorial here about harvesting. And harvesting applies to any plants that are growing out in the field. You get a little mini game, and I'll go over this as we harvest. It's pretty self-explanatory. The important thing to remember is that Juto is the only person that can harvest. So that's going to be useful when you get more party members. When you're in movement mode, if you go up to a plant and you press A to harvest it, you'll get a bar. And what you need to do is press A until you get it into the blue zone.
I did it!
And once you're in the blue zone, you need to keep it there for a couple of seconds. And if you do that successfully, the plant will be harvested. So very simple, but it's kind of nice that they incorporated a little something in here rather than just pressing A to harvest it.
Yes, I did it!
Juto is awfully happy that he can harvest those plants. And luckily, we only have to keep it in the blue zone for 3 seconds, so that's not so bad.
Yes, I did it!
3 out of 4, I just need to find the last plant. It's honestly probably up on the shore. And we get a new type of enemy, the croakers. They're really nasty looking. I don't know, just... they're like some sort of weird eel creature. I can also kick open shells if I find any. But I don't think there's anything else on the beach unless we want to fight some more enemies. And the last flower is over here somewhere. Here it is. It'd be amazing to have something called gunpowder grass growing everywhere, especially if you were anticipating an assault from an enemy. I imagine that that would be pretty dang useful. Here you go, Melissa, here's your grass. We're going to be using the Molotov cocktails if and when the northern forces show up. It's good that Melissa's preparing, just in case.
I'm beat. Guess I'll get some rest at the old man's house.
Alright, thank you. Good day. I'll be on my way now. At this point, you'll want to save, and if there's anything you have not done on the island, I suggest doing it now, before you go rest at the mayor's house. Whether it be doing quests or opening treasure chests. And it may not hurt to do a little bit of grinding if you so desire. I've done pretty much everything that there is to do at this point, so I'm just gonna head on back to the village and rest up at the chief's house. Which is maybe where him and Melissa live. You never really see if they have a house or not, so perhaps, or maybe the mayor's just a nice guy. And the mayor's house is in the central of town. It's right near where we picked up Bilter's tools in the treasure chest, over here. And in order to rest, we just need to speak with the mayor.
Juto, hurry! It's not safe here! The northern forces have started their attack!
What's going on?
Just as I predicted. They caught wind of the Guardian and the Southern Forces' activities here and have come to attack. The Southern Forces and the Island Guards are getting ready to meet them.
They are, huh? If I could use a real sword, I'd be of more use around here.
Don't worry. We've been training for this day our whole lives. We won't die that easily. So, I want you to focus on your own survival.
What about you?
I'm gonna fight.
I probably won't be of much use, but I'll fight too.
It's too dangerous.
Maybe, but I can't just stand by and do nothing. I want to help you.
All right. In that case, take these. Let's go to the barricade on the shore. There's something I want you to help with.
Sure.
Uh-oh. We definitely have trouble. It's a good thing Juto got his wooden sword. Or not, seeing as how we're probably not going to be much help. But when you're ready, make your way over to the beach. I have no idea why the game doesn't just automatically teleport you there with Melissa, but whatever. I guess it's just in case there was anything that you didn't take care of before the battle started. I also like the change in music. It stresses the importance of battle, which is kind of neat. You can see here that the exclamation point is on the beach, and it looks as if Zephie and Argo are here as well.
Juto, I'm really sorry that it's come to this. I asked them to send a ship as quickly as possible, but to no avail.
The ship is probably on its way to the island as we speak. However, it is likely impossible to get the Guardian aboard under these conditions.
We will assist them to the best of our ability to halt the Northern Forces' invasion. I want to protect the island.
I want to help too. I mean, there's bound to be something that I can do.
Juto. But I think there will be wind wizards in the caverns this time, not the troops that the Northern Forces sent in last time.
Wizards? What are those?
Wizards' attacks have attributes, so be careful. There is a danger of being afflicted with a corresponding condition. Wind's conditions include vertigo and silence. If struck with vertigo, your speed will be reduced and your evade percentage will fall. One step up from vertigo is silence. If struck with the silence condition, you won't be able to use any skills for a while. If struck with vertigo, there is a high probability that it will develop into silence, so recover from it as soon as possible. Vertigo and silence can both be treated with lozenges. Remember that. I'll give you some on the off chance that you need them. If you're ever stuck with a condition, use them.
Thank you. All right, then I'll go out and see how things look beyond the barricade first.
Good idea. Be careful. The Northern forces have strengthened their siege weapons.
They must be the new Northern Forces weapons mentioned in our spies' reports.
These are their new death ballistas. It doesn't make sense for them to deploy such weapons for the sake of a little island like this.
The barricade won't last long at this rate.
But there's nowhere to fall back to. If the barricade's breached, this'll come down to hand-to-hand combat. Juto, there's something I'd like you to do. We're taking casualties from the enemy's cannon fire. Treat them using the bandages I gave you.
Got it.
For an injured person, press the right trigger, then up and down on the direction pad and select bandages. The X button will become active. You can then use the bandages by pressing the X button.
Right, you can count on me.
One more thing. As things stand, it's only a matter of time before the barricade is breached. So to prepare for this, I want you to set traps behind the barricade. I've already marked the locations where they should be set. To set them, have traps selected, and when you approach the marked location, the X button will become active. When it is, the trap will be set when you press the X button.
Right.
When the barricade is breached and Northern Forces soldiers attack, provide support by throwing the Molotov cocktails I gave you. To use a Molotov cocktail, press the X button while Molotov cocktail is selected, as with the bandages and traps. When you do that, your targeting cursor will appear, so you can cause damage to enemies inside it if you score a hit on them. Aim the circle by moving the left stick. You can throw by pressing the A button.
Got it.
Watch out for cannon fire. And don't try to be a hero.
Don't worry, I'm not some kid, you know.
Whew, got all sorts of tutorial, my goodness. Anyways, so let's start by healing up our soldiers. You're going to be given a pretty lengthy amount of time to do these tasks. We have to heal 3 soldiers with the bandages that Melissa gave us. When the enemies come in and start attacking, we have to use the Molotov cocktails. And before they get a chance to come in, we have to set the traps that Melissa has asked us to set. A lot of work, but pretty easy, and the time limit they give you is more than enough time than you'll need to do these tasks. And of course, the traps that you want to set are already marked by a gigantic marker, so they're pretty hard to miss. Alright, and at this point, we can now use the Molotov cocktails. So if you can press X to select them, and then of course, like Melissa said, use the left stick to maneuver where you want to hit, and then A to throw them. At this point, it's somewhat of a staged battle. This is gonna go on for quite some time, and we're gonna get some cutscenes in between all of the fighting, so it's up to you what you want to do. There was also talk of vertigo and silence, which you may encounter if you're doing a lot of up-close fighting with the wizards, so you may or may not want to avoid that. If you do kill enemies, you will get experience and you will get money, so feel free to pick up those as you continue on.
Still okay.
So now I've used all my cocktails, and my only option is to fight with my wooden sword. So we'll see how good that goes. I don't imagine we're going to do a lot of damage, but let's give it a shot. I think that's a lot more fun and a little bit more interesting than just standing around and letting everyone else do the work. We did say we were going to help after all, so we should do our best. And Zephie is also going to heal us, which is nice. And you probably get the feeling that you're severely outnumbered because there are a ton of northern forces and they're pretty tough. I mean, we don't have wizards. If you don't count Zephie, of course. I guess she's kind of a wizard. And Algar has shown up. He was in one of the cutscenes with Shuenzite after the Guardian had been defeated. He is undefeatable, so it's up to you what you want to do. I would probably recommend fighting the other soldiers around Algar because he's capable of doing huge damage, and your attacks are really not going to do a whole lot. So you can always let the rest of them deal with Algar.
Now watch closely.
Melissa! No!
So we get our first real sword, which unfortunately is Melissa's sword. Kind of sad that she had to die. I mean, she really wanted to defend the village, and she did her best, but really no match against Algar. I mean, this is a guy who is sort of an elite soldier working for the northern forces. So again, I'm just going to kind of watch myself around Algar and try and focus a little bit more on the other forces. And because you have a real sword now, you'll be able to do more damage. So you can focus on fighting the wizards or some of the other soldiers. And picking up your loot and your money along the way, of course. And the fighting should be over soon. Again, this is just going to continue on for quite some time. And it is scripted, so we'll just do what we can here. Luckily, any of the money and the loot that we pick up, we will be able to keep. Which is kind of looking on the bright side.
Still be able to fight with this.
I might even get a level up here if I can defeat enough enemies. Or get closer to a level up anyways. It'll give me a good amount of money for when we start the game again.
A Southern Forces signal flare.
So, the ship has finally arrived. It looks like they're searching for you.
We can't retreat. Not now.
Even Elgar has come here. The two of us alone are no match for him. We have no chance of winning. I cannot allow you to remain here and be killed.
I know. Juto, let's disengage for the time being and regroup.
You expect me to just leave Melissa here?
You intend to die here. You would let her death be in vain. Hurry, we'll go to Azure Bell Forest. Judging from the flare's direction, our force's ship should lie on the northeast side of the forest interior.
Juto, I wasn't up to the task. I'm sorry. I couldn't keep my promise.
Why didn't you just take the stupid Guardian right away?
The Southern Forces ship was delayed. I doubt that even General Headquarters could have anticipated that the Northern Forces would take action this quickly.
So obviously Juto is a little bit upset, for good reason, and as we make our way to the ship, we're going to have to fight our way through Northern Forces soldiers, so we're going to pick up here next time. Thank you for watching, and I will see you then.